Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday evening, December 23, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you guys utilize the progress bar at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located in the video description as well as the comment section, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most, so that we can save time, because you know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the that's been like in your ear recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so before we even start talking about the weather, we need to highlight the earthquake that rocked portions of Jamaica last night. So it states here, the United States Geological Survey, that's the USGS, has reported a moderate 5.9 earthquake. That's almost a strong earthquake, and we have the classifications right here when it comes to earthquakes. We know that anything from 3.0 to 3.9 is referred to as a minor earthquake, and it may be felt or it may not be felt. We also have a 4.0 to a 4.9 that's referred to as a light earthquake. It could be likely felt. And then we have a 5.0 to 5.9 that's referred to as a moderate earthquake, so minor damage may occur. If you remember, we had a moderate earthquake in Jamaica that was a 5.4, if not a 5.6 of October, in October 2023, and it definitely caused some amount of minor damage. So we can see that it's right here close to 6.0. That was what was happening last night. It happened at around 1 a.m. Let's read the post. It states here that yes, it was reported to be a moderate 5.9 earthquake. That's almost a strong earthquake of 6 plus at 1 a.m. That was when most of us were sleeping, and it was located 37 kilometers south of Guiza in Cuba. And you know the drill, were enlightened to remember to always drop cover and hold on in case another one happens, because you know that they can happen at any time. And we can see it right here on the USGS, definitely right here to the north of Jamaica, right there on the fault zone that passes right there to the south of Cuba. Yes, we know that's been very active. I think it was a couple months ago we had similar earthquakes in the same spot, so we can definitely be rocked by earthquakes up there for sure. And we definitely had some of our followers who actually felt the earthquake and confirm this. Did you feel the earthquake? Let me know in the comments down below. But we have here on our Twitter page PG876 stating, yeah, it woke me up and I'm still up. We also had on our Instagram page, I'm Queen Jessie, stating, I felt it St. Andrew at 1 a.m. and it was very strong. I got up out my sleep and run. I was in complete shock. We also have Sandra Dijon stating, I felt it in Port Antonio. We also have Simple _ Kimoya. Look how me could have dead in my sleep, Jaja boy. It's a real thing, Simple Kimoya. Because none of us want to be experiencing a major or strong earthquake right when we're in our deep sleep at all. Think about all of those buildings with a concrete roof. Boy, I don't want to even think about that. Our only hope is that we don't live to see a major earthquake in our generation or in our kids' generation at all. We also have Netty_89 stating, felt it in St. Andrew at 1:01 a.m. The shaking was intense. We also have on our Facebook page Sash Shay stating, felt in St. Elizabeth, and Rudy Joe stating, I felt it in Mobay. Either way, we have to remember that when it comes to earthquakes, don't be there running up and down or anything like that. We have to remember to drop cover and hold on under a sturdy table just in case. Sometimes we're there running in the earthquake, forgetting what we're supposed to be doing. And then, I don't know, maybe we're trampled, or maybe that's the time that something falls on top of our head. The main objective is to protect our head in the event of something falling during an earthquake, guys. So drop cover and hold on is still valid, even although we know that we have concrete roofs and some of these desks or tables might not be strong enough to combat these concrete roofs. We still have to follow the rules. Prevention is better than cure. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the latest Euro and the latest GFS supercomputer models are showing. As usual, we're just going to be going into the next 168 hours, so keep your eyes peeled right here at the top, showing the timestamp, and focus your attention on the Caribbean, where we're looking for all of this that we see on the key on the right. The greens into the yellows, oranges, reds represents inches of rainfall. So going out into Tuesday, we see that there's going to be even more rainfall to the south of Jamaica for sure. Some of this rainfall definitely going to be affecting the island of Jamaica. Heading into Wednesday, something similar. Thursday, something similar. As a matter of fact, Thursday is even more robust than Wednesday. Then we're heading into Friday, and we still see some lingering showers in and around the island for sure. Saturday, we have some lingering isolated showers in and around the island still. Sunday, something similar. Seems like it's going to be a wet end to the month according to the Euro. And we're going to be stopping it right there at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for 12Z on Monday, December 30. We can see a lot of moisture to the south of Jamaica, to the south of Hispaniola. We can also see the line of showers associated with a frontal system, touching all the way from the east coast of the United States all the way down into the Bahamas right here. So let us match what the Euro that came out today at 3:30 is showing compared to the latest GFS run that just came out an hour ago. Excuse me. So we can see that as we head into Tuesday, we see a lot of greens represent the moisture, especially to the southwest of the island, across northern Jamaica, across the waters to the south of Jamaica. Heading into 0Z on Wednesday is actually 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Even more dark greens, even some yellows over there near the Cayman Islands that represent up to 6 inches of rainfall. Heading into Wednesday, 12Z on Wednesday is actually 7 a.m. We see a lot of moisture across the central to the western Caribbean, including Jamaica. Heading into Thursday, we see a lot of moisture in and around the island, a lot of it across Cuba and the eastern Yucatan Peninsula right there. And even into Friday, we still see lingering showers. Saturday, something similar. Sunday, something similar. Boy, it's going to be wet. And more than likely, most of that is afternoon rainfall. So don't be thinking that it's going to be all day, all the time rainfall. And we're going to be stopping it right there at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for 18Z on Monday, December 30. And we can see the similarities and we see the differences. In terms of the similarities, clearly we see a string of moisture associated with a frontal system of the east coast of the United States on both the Euro and the GFS models. Even although the Euro has it more out to sea than on the GFS, GFS has it closer to land. We also see a lot of moisture to the south of Jamaica in terms of the similarities. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing some similarities and differences too. The Euro right here showing the dark reds into the purples, the pinks, and the peach colors that we can see is stretching all the way from Florida across western Cuba into the Yucatan, the western Caribbean, eastern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, and the waters to the south of Jamaica. We see a lot of rainfall there. Let us match it to what the 168 hour mark on the GFS is showing. Alright, we see something similar regarding those same spots: Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, eastern Nicaragua, Honduras, the Cayman Islands, and western Cuba as well as Florida. But look at the GFS. GFS is adamant that eastern Jamaica is going to be picking up a lot of rainfall, northern Hispaniola and eastern Cuba as well. And if we take a closer look at Jamaica regarding the rainfall totals that are expected, the Euro is still a bit more reserved in terms of the rainfall totals. We see the greens into the yellows, especially across northeastern parishes. We're talking about anywhere from 15 all the way up to maybe 60 millimeters of rainfall. We see that it has been fluctuating over the past couple of days. And more than likely some of the rainfall has already took place today, so it's definitely tapering off. We can see the accumulated precipitation from the GFS still more robust than the Euro. The greens into the yellows, into the oranges, into the pinks, into the reds, that we see a lot of across the waters to the east of the island, all the way up to 118 millimeters of rainfall expected. But we can see that for the most part across the island, we're talking about anywhere from 15 all the way up to maybe 90 millimeters of rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Either way, some isolated flash flooding could definitely take place, especially across the northern and eastern portions of the island. And whatever occurs, I'll definitely be here to keep you posted on our other social media platforms. If we take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see a ridge of high pressure right here across the east coast of the US, another ridge of high pressure right here across the waters of the northern portion of the North Atlantic that we know are responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. We see broken orange lines right here, another set of broken orange lines right here associated with some troughs. We see the frontal system stretching all the way from northern portion of North Atlantic all the way down into Jamaica, where it has induced a trough across the island as we speak. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities. The clouds associated with the frontal system, stretching all the way from northern portion of North Atlantic, all the way down into portion of the southwestern Caribbean with that trough, lots of shower and thunderstorm activity. You can also see the low level flow of the clouds being pushed from east to west by that ridge of high pressure. And we can make out the upper level flow being steered from the southwest to the northeast, all courtesy of that upper level wind shear for sure. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, December 23, 2024. It was stated that rain was in the forecast for parts of some northern parishes in Jamaica on the morning of Monday, December 23, also affecting sections of some southern parishes during the afternoon. And we know northern Jamaica, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. While southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And what ended up happening? As early as 7:25 a.m., the infrared satellite images were posted here on our social media platform. First on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, then they were posted also on our Instagram page with the .jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So look at the infrared satellite images that were posted this morning, and we can see a lot of thunderstorms, especially to the south of the island. And do you see the sparkling white dots? All of that we know represents the lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. And we can also make out the upper level wind steering those high cloud tops up towards the northeast, which explains why when most of us woke up, it was definitely cloudy for the most part. As a matter of fact, it was cloudy for the most part throughout the day. Then during the evening hours now, another post was made at around 6:20 p.m. highlighting the Cuban Doppler radar images. The Cuban Doppler radar images confirm that there was indeed some amount of rainfall affecting sections of some northern parishes, and some of this rainfall even spilled into sections of some southern parishes. We're talking about northern St. Catherine, section of Kingston, St. Andrew got some rainfall too. The greens into the yellows represent some moderate to slightly heavy rainfall, and we can see a lot of that was across the waters to the south of the island as well. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can make out that low level flow if we look closely for all of the clouds being pushed into northern Jamaica, and we can even make out some of the clouds that spilled into sections of some southern parishes for sure, where we had some amount of isolated shower activity. And even the infrared close-up satellite images of Jamaica were confirming some thunderstorms that took place across eastern parishes. We're talking about sections of Portland, northern St. Thomas, sections of St. Andrew got in on some of the thunderstorm activity. We see those sparkling white dots. We know what they represent, lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. So we definitely had some activity across Portland, section of St. Andrew as well. And we can also see some activity to the southeast of the island too. And To confirm that it was indeed raining across second of southern Jamaica today, we look to the Barbican live cam. Look at this. This is showing Barbican at around 17:06. That's 5:06 p.m. And look at all the rainfall that was taking place at that time. Let's rewind a bit back. Look at the hills. You can make out that it's definitely raining. We see the vehicles right here with their windshield wipers on. There's some moderate to slightly heavy rainfall, definitely soaking the area. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, you can go on YouTube and subscribe to See Jamaica if you haven't yet done so. They have these live streams for your viewing pleasure 24/7. They also have Flat Bridge, Halfway Tree Crossroads, and they're planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So subscribe today to their channel so that you don't miss out. So we can definitely see that we indeed had some amount of rainfall across these areas for sure. Excuse me. If we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had that rainfall today, especially across sections of some northern parishes, spilling into sections of southern Jamaica. We're talking about St. Andrew, just like what we just saw. And we definitely have some confirmation of the cloud cover, if not the rainfall, from some of our subscribers here on YouTube. John Gotti, 9783, stating heavy clouds in St. Bess, Jamaica, 9 hours ago. We also have Lawrence Davidson, 6195, stating that's a lot of weather there south of the island. I hope it does not spin up into anything. Definitely gonna be hard to spin up into anything, Mr. Davidson. Especially given the upper level wind shear that's tearing the tops of these thunderstorms off. If we didn't have all of that southwesterly wind shear, definitely could possibly spin up for sure. We also have Youth Silvera stating, Youth Silvera 1179 stating, there are lots of rain in the hills of West Portland. Alright, thank you very much for confirming it, Youth Silvera. Even on our Instagram page, where the comments coming in, Tamara.Barry stating overcast in Kingston, Taya Hila _ stating cloudy. We also have right here, did we have anything else on our Twitter page? Alright, but I think we have some comments here on Facebook. Roxanne Campbell stating overcast in Trelawney, Verona Burke, overcast in Ocho Rios. Leonie Scott, overcast. Drini RJ, cold in Porty. Thank you very much for confirming the temperature there as well. And we're going to be looking at what the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website is showing. What's currently taking place. Alright. So the latest still image is as of 0005 UTC. So that's 7:05 p.m. Hold up. It's 7:22. And usually, let's say 2 minutes past the hour, they usually come out with another image that comes out at 15 minutes past the hour. So I'm gonna reload it so that we can get the 15 minutes past the hour image. Alright, there we go. Alright, excuse me. So this is showing the very latest image. So there we have it, 0015 UTC. That's actually 7:15 p.m. 7:15 p.m. and the time is now 7:22 p.m. So this just came out 7 minutes ago. And what do we see? We see some thunderstorms across northern St. Andrew. Pretty sure that they're getting some rainfall up there in Stony Hill, the hills of northern St. Andrew, sections of western Portland, maybe sections of St. Mary getting some amount of thunderstorm activity. We also see some thunderstorm activity right here to the south of St. Thomas. And we see the upper level wind shear pushing those cloud tops off towards the northeast. May definitely bring some overcast skies, if not some light rainfall to those spots. If we take a look at the Cuban Doppler radar imagery, let us reload this. That we have the very latest to show. Let's see. Give it a second, let it load, because we want to see exactly what's happening right now. Hopefully it shows us the 7:20 p.m. Doppler radar. 7:10, 7:20. Alright, there we go. So the 7:20 Doppler radar is actually showing that rainfall that's affecting portion of northern St. Andrew, section of West Portland. You can also see that rainfall right there to the south of St. Thomas. A lot of rainfall too. The greens into the yellows, that will now represents moderate to heavy rainfall. And if we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban Naval Radar imagery, let us reload this so that we have the very latest to show. What do we make out? We make out some rain bands right here. Stretching from Portland, we see the blues into the greens. That represent some light rainfall. We also see some moderate to heavy rainfall across the western peninsula of Haiti, as well as the northwestern portion of Haiti, eastern Cuba. Let us reload the Cayman Doppler radar imagery. Let us see what's happening in and around the Cayman Islands as we speak. We see a strand of showers right here to the west of the Cayman Islands. We see some showers to the southwest of the island too. And all of this is pushing westward. Taking a look at what's happening right now on the halfway tree cam. Look at this, it's actually raining. It looks like it's some light rainfall because we see some people with umbrellas, some people without umbrellas. Possibly some light, maybe to moderate rainfall for sure. At this time, 7:24 p.m. Excuse me. Let's see what's going on as we look over on this side. Yeah, man, lots of people with their umbrellas. Nothing significant really happening, but we're having rainfall. We're indeed grateful to cool down the land for sure. And this is just the beginning. We have more rainfall to get as we head into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. Just like the post stated with these troughs. And they can be very tricky. We could get more rainfall. We could get less rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds. And I'll definitely be here to keep you posted. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 25 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, temperature should dip down to about 23 degrees Celsius in Kingston, remaining 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. But it could be cooler than that for sure. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Tuesday. When calculated, that's about 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in some slight orange colors that we can see by the key on the right. That represents up to 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of December across Jamaica are around 87 degrees Fahrenheit. And when 87 degrees Fahrenheit is converted to degrees Celsius, we're talking about 30.6 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Tuesday. And we're indeed grateful that for the past week or so, my JPS Online's Twitter page hasn't been showing any form of maintenance outage advisories. I think that's it for the rest of the year, because we know that when they're doing maintenance outages across sections of the island, we don't have electricity to power or fan or AC, so the temperatures definitely feel even hotter for sure. So we're indeed grateful that they're, not really doing much of anything for the Christmas season. Either way, if tomorrow is going to be too hot for you still, we have some tips here to beat the heat. It states here, when outside, seek shade, eat fresh, try eating cold foods such as salads and fruits, rest, make sure you get enough sleep, and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak, take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. It also states here, keep hydrated, drink lots of water, put away those sugar drinks, drink water instead. Alright, so we don't see much change in terms of the dry air map. We know the dry air is represented by the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites in those reds. And we can see a lot of dry air still across the main development region, the northern portion of the North Atlantic, into the Bahamas, into the northwestern Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, as well as off the east coast of the United States. Lots of dry air. I know the dry air makes it difficult for there to be a lot of moisture across the region. But we see more blues and more grays that represent moist air, cloud cover across the Caribbean in general, which explains the cloudy conditions and the rainfall that's taking place. And there's going to be a lot more of that as we continue throughout the rest of the week. But if we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Tuesday, we have Jamaica right here. That's going to be enjoying fair weather. So too North America, the Bahamas, Hispaniola, much of northwestern South America and Central America in the clear. But look at all of these browns stretching all the way from the central to the eastern Caribbean to the waters across the main development region, all the way across northeastern South America too. Lots of dark browns in there too. And we know all of this represents very hazy skies And we know all of this can trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some persons, asthma, sinusitis, you name it. So I hope everybody is taking necessary precautions, having their meds handy just in case, because we know the ridges of high pressure are responsible for sending all of this from east to west into our area. And it's going to be interesting to see if it actually makes it to Jamaica or if it actually dwindles before all is said and done with the week. Excuse me. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we see that the highest waves are represented by the purples into the pinks. Right here across the Bahamas, the waters to the north of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico, the waters to the far south of Jamaica. We know all of that represents 2 to 3 meter wave heights for sure. 2.4 right here to the north of Colombia. We have what? 3.5, 3.6 right here near the southern Bahamas. And we see blues, a lot of blues stretching from the Gulf of Mexico into the Caribbean. To the north of Jamaica, that's 1.6 meter wave heights, 1.4 meter wave heights on the south coast. And all of this is because of the winds that are expected. We see the winds that are represented by the bright greens into the yellows that we know represents anywhere from 15 all the way up to 25 knot winds, especially across the Bahamas. And we see that flow of the winds from northeast all the way to west, southwest. We see across the Caribbean an easterly flow, definitely gaining more speed and intensity across the central to the southwestern Caribbean. We see these greens mixing with the yellows, so we're talking about 20 to 25 knots for sure. But across the eastern Caribbean, we're talking about anywhere from 10 to 15 knots. And if we take a closer look at Jamaica regarding these wind forecasts, we can see the flow of the winds first of all from the east. And we see a lot of blues across the island that represent anywhere from 0 to 5 knots, maybe even up to 10 knots at most. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what occurs tomorrow. But we're definitely going to be getting on some amount of isolated showers with the trough in our area. And we also have that upper level wind still coming in from the southwest, still bringing those cloud tops off towards the northeast. We saw what it did today, a lot of cloud cover, and we might just get on more of the same activity on Tuesday. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing 7 a.m. on Tuesday. And we see the blues that represent rainfall across northern parishes. The Euro is showing less rainfall than the GFS. GFS definitely a bit more robust. But northern parishes are the places where we have the consensus for rainfall. We're talking about maybe St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland for sure. The GFS trying to incorporate section of St. Thomas. We'll see exactly what occurs when that time comes. And we see that by around 3 p.m. we have even more rainfall stretching from eastern Jamaica to central and western Jamaica. Very interesting. We see a lot of it across central and western parishes. The GFS even more robust. Look at this. A lot of blues, even some greens in there, all the way across the island from east to west at 3 p.m. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Whatever takes place, I'll definitely be here to keep you posted on my other social media platforms. The accumulated precipitation forecast maps are very robust for northeastern parishes though. We're talking about St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland, maybe section of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas. GFS definitely showing the same spots, but even Western Jamaica showing a lot of rainfall, but we don't have the consensus with the Euro. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that, but that's a lot of rainfall for Portland either way. 1.77 inches of rainfall, that's ridiculous. Either way, we're in the month of December and we usually get less rainfall this month. In Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually receive up to 25 millimeters of rainfall. That's about an inch of rainfall. In Montego Bay, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the bottom, we usually receive close to 4 inches of rainfall. That's about 90 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives for the month of December or for the entire year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website will show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have a lot of clouds associated with the trough that was induced by the frontal system, currently plaguing portions of the southern Bahamas, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, definitely getting lashed as we speak. We also have a lot of clouds bringing overcast skies and rainfall to sections of the Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, sections of Colombia, sections of the Eastern Caribbean getting on some isolated shores, and we're going to be confirming it shortly by taking a look at the latest Doppler radar images. So right now, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, considering that the time is now 7:34 p.m., we're seeing that there's some rainfall affecting eastern portion of the Dominican Republic, the waters to the north of Puerto Rico, section of northern Puerto Rico into San Juan getting some isolated showers. Let's see what's happening. Not much affecting the Leeward Islands, but if we load these images from earlier today, we got some rainfall in and around St. Kitts and Nevis. We also had some rainfall across central and western Puerto Rico, section of the British Virgin Islands as well. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, not seeing much happening across Barbados right now, but we do see some isolated showers coming in from the east, northeast to west, southwest towards Barbados. We also see some rainfall, definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall at that, currently affecting sections of Martinique, some rainfall to the east of St. Lucia, some rainfall right here across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We also see some rainfall passing to the north of Tobago, some rainfall coming in from the east northeast towards Tobago. And we also see a nice little rain band coming into portion of northern Trinidad as we speak. And if we take a look at the weather via Doppler radar images, excuse me, we can make out some moderate to heavy rainfall coming into portion of eastern Nicaragua, some isolated shores affecting sections of Belize, as well as the Dominican Republic and Colombia as we speak. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. And we see that rainfall is definitely in store for northern Cuba, eastern Cuba, the southern Bahamas, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We also see some rainfall in store for sections of the Leeward Islands, just some isolated showers in these greens. We also see some rainfall in store for Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados. We even see some rainfall in store for Trinidad and Tobago, sections of eastern, southern and western Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, so too Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, eastern Nicaragua, eastern Honduras, southeastern Belize, Guatemala. And we see that both the Euro and GFS models are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.